When Laura walked out the door that rainy afternoon, she left more than just a house behind. She abandoned her husband, Mark, and their 4 young children, the oldest barely 9 years old. With nothing but a note that simply read, "I can't do this anymore," Mark found himself standing in the living room, holding a crumpled piece of paper while the kids played unaware in the next room. Overnight, his world turned upside down. Bills piled up on the kitchen counter. The fridge seemed emptier with each passing day, and Mark quickly realized that he had no choice but to become everything for his children: father, mother, provider, and comforter. The weight of responsibility was crushing. Mark traded his full-time office job for 2 part-time gigs that allowed him to be home when the kids got off the school bus. Nights were often spent at the kitchen table, helping with homework under the dim light of a single overhead bulb. And weekends meant laundry, grocery shopping, and fixing whatever broke in their small 2-bedroom home. Friends offered help at first, but as months stretched into years, many drifted away, unable to understand the daily grind Mark endured. Still, he never considered giving up. His kids needed him more than ever, and no amount of exhaustion could overshadow the fierce love he felt every time they ran into his arms after a long shift. It wasn't the life he had planned. But as the seasons changed and the kids grew stronger, so did Mark. What began as survival slowly transformed into a life built on resilience, love, and the quiet heroism of simply showing up day after day. Mark's journey wasn't just about survival. It was about transformation. Every early morning when he packed lunches in brown paper bags, every late night when he patched holes in worn-out sneakers, he was quietly shaping a future not just for his kids, but for himself too. Money was always tight. There were times when he had to stretch a single paycheck to cover groceries, heating bills, and growing school expenses. Yet somehow, with relentless determination and a bit of small-town grit, Mark always found a way to make it work. He became a master of secondhand stores, discount coupons, and homemade meals that could feed 5 on barely $20. Emotionally, the burden was just as heavy. There were nights when the silence in the house felt like it might crush him. Moments when exhaustion made him question whether he could keep going. But every bedtime story, every scraped knee he bandaged, and every smile he earned from his children reminded him why he fought so hard. Through it all, Mark taught his children powerful life lessons, not by lecturing, but by living. He showed them what it meant to work hard, to stay loyal, and to love without expecting anything in return. His unwavering spirit became the glue that held the family together. Looking back, it's clear that Mark's story is more than just a tale of hardship. It's a truly inspiring example of how ordinary people, when faced with extraordinary challenges, can rise to become everyday heroes. And sometimes, the strongest families are the ones built not by perfect circumstances, but by relentless love and resilience. Nearly a decade after Laura left, Mark and the kids had built a life filled with small victories and quiet joy. Then, one chilly November afternoon, Laura showed up at their doorstep. She wore a nervous smile and carried nothing but a small handbag and a lot of unfinished apologies. She spoke of missing the children, of wanting to make things right. At first, the kids were confused, some curious, others distant. Mark, however, felt a familiar ache in his chest. Deep down, he sensed there was more to her return than just regret. Over the next few days, Laura's true motives began to surface. Mark overheard hushed phone calls, caught glimpses of overdue bill notices poking from her purse. It became painfully clear that financial troubles, not maternal instinct, had brought her back. Mark realized that while time could heal many wounds, it couldn't erase the life lessons he had learned the hard way. Trust must be earned, and true family isn't defined by who shows up when it's easy, but who stays when it's hard. Rather than confront her with anger, Mark chose calm resolve. He set firm boundaries, putting his children's emotional safety first. Laura's return was a stark reminder that not every story ends with a perfect reunion, but Mark's journey remained inspiring, showing that the strength to protect and prioritize your loved ones is what truly defines a hero. Mark knew he had to act quickly before Laura's presence stirred up deeper confusion and pain for the kids. Sitting them all down around the worn kitchen table, he gently explained the truth, not to turn them against their mother, but to help them understand the importance of guarding their hearts. He reassured them that they were loved beyond measure, and that their family's strength had never depended on anyone's sudden return. Protecting his children meant setting boundaries, even if it was uncomfortable. Mark respectfully but firmly told Laura that while he wished her well, she couldn't just walk back into their lives and disrupt the stability they had fought so hard to build. He emphasized that their home was a safe place, and he wouldn't allow anything or anyone to shake that foundation. It was one of the toughest conversations he had ever faced, but it was also one of the most necessary. In doing so, Mark showed his kids one of the most important life lessons. Sometimes, love means making the hard choices, not the easy ones. His courage to protect their peace was yet another chapter in the story they would one day look back on with pride. His actions were a powerful, inspiring reminder that true leadership in a family isn't about controlling others, but about serving, shielding, and always putting love into action. Ultimately, the story highlights that family is not just about blood ties, but about deep bonds formed through love, sacrifice, and consistent devotion, making the family stronger than ever. Through every hardship and triumph, we see that real family stands by each other, even when the world turns its back. It's in the quiet moments of support, the late-night talks, and the unwavering presence during the storms of life that the true essence of family shines. This message delivers powerful life lessons, reminding us that relationships built on trust, empathy, and shared experiences can be more enduring than mere genetics. The story encourages viewers to reflect on the people who've stood by them and to value emotional connection over traditional definitions. It's an inspiring reminder that family can be chosen, nurtured, and strengthened through everyday actions. No matter where we come from, it's the love we give and receive that truly defines who we call family.